Let's look at the rules of strumming. Most people will have a go at strumming. Some people will instinctively know the right directions for the pick to take. But let me show you how it works. For every beat of your bar, so if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, every beat must be a down strum. So for example, if I count you in, we can do it together if you like. So hold a G, and let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go. Easy enough. So let's say we wanted to do extra strums in there because we wanted to either change the rhythm, make it quicker, or just make it more interesting. If you think about it, between every down, there's going to be an up. There has to be physically an up to get there. So we use those ups to give us extra power, extra rhythm. So let's try going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's the basic rhythm. For whatever song we're going to do, assume it's in eighth. Eighth notes means 1 and 2 and. Sometimes we play 16s, which is quicker. We'll look at those in a moment. Have a look at examples on the page. Let's play through each one in turn, and you should get the idea of how your hand is always going to flow. So if someone couldn't hear you playing, if they were looking in through a window and they couldn't hear what you were doing, it should look like you're playing the one we just did, the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll show you what I mean. Let's take example 1. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see that the hand is constantly moving, and if yours isn't, if you're doing something like this, it feels odd. It will possibly sound okay, although it sounds a little bit more awkward. But you'll find that if your hand is flowing, you want to make sure it's flowing down on all the beats. So let's go through the other examples. Here's number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go straight to number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, when you're changing chords, sometimes it's hard to get to the next chord instantly enough. So let's say we were going from G to D. Let's use that last rhythm. Sometimes you can add the and of 4. So let's say we go 1, 2, 3 and 4 and although it sounds odd if you do it slow, that and can be an open sound. In other words, we let go of everything, and that gives you a chance to get to the next chord. Let's play that together. Let's go 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. You can hear it's there, but it fits the key. Usually with the open chords, those kind of movements are going to be okay. Let's go through some 16th note patterns. So the same rules apply. Every time you've got a downbeat, it has to be a downstroke. But with 16s, they're called 16 because you get 16 in a bar, because each beat has 4. So you go 1A and A, 2A and A, 3A and A, 4A and A, 1A and A, 2A and A, 3A and A, 4A and A. Just means we're moving slightly quicker. Usually, oddly enough, this happens when your song is slower. So if it's a quicker song, you tend to have 8th beats, so it's the 1 and 2 and. If it's slower like a ballad, 16s often come in. So they don't feel that much quicker, they just are against the beat. Let's try E minor and A minor. Let's play every beat of every bar. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Slightly trickier on the count for your mind, but physically it's the same thing that we're doing. Let's go through the examples, and we'll play them together. And here's example number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see, even though the chord rings out, I'm still letting my hand motion through the other 16s. So if we were just to play the first 16th of a beat, it would be... There's two reasons. One is you'll feel it correctly, you'll feel the groove of the beat, and the second reason is you're going to be in time. Whereas if you're just doing this, and you're hoping to catch the next strum, it's not as reliable as if you're constantly feeling what you're playing against. Okay, here's example 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see where this is going. You can mess around, and I'd encourage you to play along to things and make sure that your hand is flowing constantly on the beat. Let's go back to what we did before, where we constantly played 1, A, and A, 2, A, and A. But let's put accents in. I'll show you how it's going to sound, and I'll show you how we do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So rather than making the louder accent mega loud compared to the others, you're actually making the others softer. So the first beat is a normal strum, and then to soften the rest, you can either play lighter, or you can head around the more fat end of the strings, which not only sounds lighter, but it's also a little bit more bassy, so it calms the whole tension of the sound down. So if you look at the next example, I've marked some little V's, side V's, they're accents against the beat. So what we're going to try and do is push those beats slightly louder than the other ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Next example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do them as slow or as fast as you like. The only rule, other than having your hand always fall down on the downbeats, is that you play it at the speed where you're in control. You don't play fast and hope for the best. You're better off doing it slower and then playing it more accurately. Speed occurs when you know something really well. Speed isn't a reflection of being better. Speed is a reflection of how much practice you've done so that you're completely au fait with what it is you're playing. So have fun with these, and what you'll probably find, especially if you're into the more acoustic-y, busk-along type playing, you'll be in 16s and you will be using these accents more. So if you listen to bands like Oasis, Travis, those guys, they tend to always be contacting the strings, but it's their accents that they're good at just feeling where just to nudge the strings or lay back on the strings. Those examples you've got should be enough to give you a really good grounding, or at least help you understand what it is you need to be doing.